Hey, how's it going? It's your boy Steak. I'm on a solo mission today. Kyle's on vacation in beautiful Utah. I don't want to give too much of his life story away. We got Face behind the scenes. I'm going to give you a little quick recap. We had a good week. We've been doing pretty good for you guys, and then I'm going to run through the Thursday and Saturday slate, and then I'm going to wait for Style to get back to run through this big Sunday slate with lots of playoff implications. Let's see what we got here and how we did. So I'm gonna move right to Sunday and tell you. I'll get right through to it. Our loss, which was a very bad one. I don't know how we saw this game go in the complete opposite, but we had the over in the Falcons-Panthers game. The final score on that one was 9-7. So that was a loser. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes we like to get gross with these bad quarterbacks play each other. We call them gross overs, and didn't pan out this time. But I would wager it pans out more often than it doesn't. But this wasn't the one. Where we nailed it, the over in the 49ers-Cardinals game. I said I thought that the 49ers could score 30 and the Cardinals could score 20. Well, the Cardinals scored 29 and the Niners scored 45. It felt like the Niners scored on every possession. CMC had a touchdown. Debo had 2. Brock Purdy had 4. I mean, they just scored on every possession. The Cardinals don't really play any defense, but ironically, Cardinals can move the ball. Like, the Cardinals offense is really no joke. So we liked the over here, and we got the points we needed. That was a winner. Under 37.5, Bears and Browns. We hit that one by the skin of our teeth. Very, very lucky. We only had 14 points in the first half. Kind of thought we might have a no-sweat one. And then the game got real interesting. Obviously, 17-10 Bears. Browns scored a touchdown to tie it up, made it 17-17. And then Joe Flacco led that last drive for a field goal. I think we were all a little nervous that Joe Flacco was going to score a touchdown there instead, and we would have lost that over-under, but we hit it. Texans +3. Let's be honest. We also got lucky here. We were losing pretty much the whole time. Case Keenum led a nice comeback. Yeah, man, Case Keenum, dude, he looked horrible in the first half, and I was like, God, this is the worst bet ever. But really, he's a gamer. Let's be honest, and that's probably why they went with him over Davis Mills. Because I'll be honest, like, I was in my head before the start of the game. I was like, I'm putting my money on the Texans either way, but I really want them to start Davis Mills. But that last drive where he throws the touchdown and ties it up, and then he leads them into field goal range in overtime to win it, kind of shows you why the coaches probably felt a little more comfortable with a guy like Case Keenum over a guy like Davis Mills, and also tells you why I don't get paid to be an NFL coach, which is fair. Sweat-free. I mean, this was sweat-free. Dolphins -8. We had talked about it. We said at 7, we like it. At 8, we like it. At 9.5, we like it. And that was all based off whether or not Tyreek Hill was going to play. Tyreek Hill did not play. It didn't matter. The Jets are terrible, and the line was overinflated because they looked so good last week against the Texans. If you have a brain and you've been watching football since the kid got in the league, you knew Zach Wilson wasn't going to put back-to-back performances together like that, let's be honest. Tua did enough, but it was really all about defense in the run game. Raheem Mostert had 2 more touchdowns. He's now, I think, got 20 on the season, which is fucking unheard of. Jalen Waddle, 142 yards and a tug, and then really Tua just game managed, which I'm not knocking him for it. When the opposing team scores 0 points, you don't have to do much. He didn't have Tyreek Hill, not too many deep shots, but he had 224 and a tug. And then I think that covers all our action. We went 4-1 unless I'm missing one. I don't think I am. So I'll just run through the entire slate now. Games that surprised me. Buccaneers 34, Packers 20. That one surprised me. Baker's a dog. 381 and 4 touchdowns. That's crazy. I mean, him going up to Lambeau and doing that is crazy. God, I mean, is he going to do it? Is he going to win this division? It's just, I'm kind of shook by it. Now, this week, the Saints got to play the Rams as dogs. Bucks are playing Jacksonville and Tampa as 1-point favorites. I mean, they could take the lead in this division, which is pretty crazy. I'm rooting for them. I think I'd much rather watch Baker Mayfield in the playoffs with the Bucks than this Saints team with Derek Carr. I just cannot stand watching them. I'm rooting for the Bucks, man. Obviously, I'm a Florida boy, so let's get it. Let's see. Chiefs, Patriots. I did not have any action in this game. Once again, man, like the Chiefs looked average again to me. Ironically, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had what I would say is the best game on the Chiefs. Pat still threw 2 interceptions, which is crazy. But, you know, he definitely slung it around. Rashee Rice is nice. He's nice. He had 9 receptions, which I think is now, in 3 of the last 4 games, he's had 8 or more receptions, which means he's really kind of taken flight as the wide receiver number 1 for the Chiefs. The Patriots are the Patriots. Arguably, if the Panthers weren't in the league, the Patriots are the worst team in the NFL. It doesn't matter who plays quarterback, Bailey Zappi, Mac Jones. They're awful. And I was surprised they kept it close as they did, but I don't think the scoreboard is even indicative of this game. This game was a rough watch. I watched most of it. Here's one that did not surprise me at all. I definitely thought the party was coming to an end for Tommy Cutlets. Awesome story, but he beat the Packers on Monday Night Football, and I just didn't see him coming out and playing good against the Saints. And he didn't. They had 6 points. He got hurt. Tyrod Taylor came in, and I believe Tommy Cutlets came back in. Derek Carr did enough, 220 and 3 touchdowns, but really, once again, the story's about the defense, which I think the only way the Saints are really going to win games is by playing defense, because I just don't trust Derek Carr, and Mike Thomas is injured. Chris Olave hasn't really impressed this year. Just the offense in general for the Saints, with the exception of Alvin Kamara, is just mid. It's a mid football team, and it's below mid coaching. The coaching is horrible. I actually think that's the biggest problem for the Saints and why they should lose the division. Commanders 28-20. This was a funny game because the Rams dominated, and once again, ever since the Commanders were sellers at the deadline, where they traded their 2 DNs, they've been the worst defense in football. I mean, they're just getting lit up by everybody. And I know the Rams only scored 28, but man, they moved the ball at will. Kyren Williams had 27 carries for 152 yards, which is just insane. He's getting 6 yards a carry. And this game wasn't close at all. They benched Sam Howell, brought in Jacoby Brissett, and this guy, Jacoby Brissett, throws 2 miracle bombs to Terry McLaurin, 1 for a touchdown and 1 down at the 1, which, by the way, won me my fantasy matchup, so I'm not complaining whatsoever. I'm going to the semis thanks to those, because before those 2, Terry McLaurin had like 3 catches for 20 yards, and everybody knows the quote a couple games ago where he had no catches, and they asked him about it. He's like, I did a lot of cardio. So it's nice to see him get going. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Sam Howell that he couldn't do that all game, and then Jacoby comes in and does that, but 28-20 final score. Like I said, don't think it's indicative. I think the Rams beat their ass, and the scoreboard doesn't exactly show that. Cowboys, Bills. This was another one of our picks, actually, Bills money line. Didn't expect it to be this easy, but this was a line read. Let's be honest. I think everybody who gambles, considers himself to be on the sharper side of things, saw that the Bills were favored against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are piping hot, man. Cowboys just dog walked the Eagles a week ago. Everybody watched it, and this was a must win for the Bills, and they played like it. I mean, James Cook went nutty, 25 carries for 179 yards. That's insane numbers for the NFL. Dak looked horrible. I mean, horrible. I don't know if he lost himself the MVP, but he was the favorite going into this game, and I can assure you after this game he's not the favorite. Brock Purdy is, which is hilarious. I can get to that later. But 134 yards and an interception. CeeDee Lamb, nothing really till the last drive. The Cowboys looked really, really bad. I don't know. They get a break. We'll give them a break. The Niners lost 3 in a row midseason, and people still considering them to be best fucking team in the NFL. So I'm not going to knock the Cowboys too bad for 1 loss, but I'm curious to see how they bounce back. They got an interesting game next week against the Dolphins. Sunday night, Ravens, Jags. I was dead wrong on this. I had the Jags. I thought we were going to get a bounce back from the Jags. We didn't. They look really, really bad. The Jags look so bad. Trevor Lawrence looks really bad. He looked bad before that injury, and now he looks worse. I can't figure it out. With the exception of 1 bomb to Agnew, I don't think that, they got 2 missed field goals, and I want to say that I'm pretty sure they had a red zone turnover, and the Ravens did what the Ravens do. They moved the ball. They controlled time of possession for 7 minutes on drives. They had 12-play drives. Lamar almost had 100 yards rushing, So that is, I guess, not surprising for most people. For me, I took Jags plus 3.5. I didn't really expect the game to go this way, but I'm sure a lot of people thought Ravens would do exactly what they did. Seeing the Ravens win a game 23-7, I don't think surprises anyone. Big loss for the Ravens. Keaton Mitchell tore his ACL. It was a pretty gruesome injury. I literally was watching it live, and I'm like, oh, fuck, bro, that is not good. And it wasn't good. He's out. And then he was nice. He was starting to kind of come together. I almost thought he was going to take over the backfield completely, but now it's back to Gus Edwards, who isn't as dynamic as Keaton Mitchell, in my opinion. So that's a bad loss. Ravens, I believe, play the 49ers on Christmas, which should be an absolutely incredible game that a lot of people think is going to be a Super Bowl preview. And then we got Monday night, man. Monday night. So I'm sure we posted about it, but I had a 6-leg touchdown parlay, 200 to win $19,100. That ended in heartbreaking fashion. I had Joe Mixon, Jahmyr Gibbs, Raheem Mostert, Cooper Kupp, and Deebo Samuel. All 5 hit. So going into Monday, all I needed was DK Metcalf. I'm a gambler, dude, so I wasn't going to press that cash out button. They offered me $6,500. I wasn't going to press the cash out button. I'll be honest. I knew from the second it was down to DK, I wasn't going to press the cash out button. But damn, man, I really thought I was going to get Geno Smith starting that game. And I understand at the end, Drew Lock got it together, and he threw the game-winning touchdown, which kind of masks the fact that he looked like dog shit for the entire game before that. And I really don't know how the Eagles let them keep it close to where they put that game-winning drive together. But didn't hit my DK bet. Heartbreaker. I've had 2 6-leg touchdown parlays, lose by 1 guy. But we're gonna keep fighting the good fight. I'll have another one out for you this week, no doubt. And that's about it. DK, I didn't send you a nasty DM. You still look like style, and I still got love for you. So it's all love.